Hey everyone, hope you all are doing great. Very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all who all are joining us globally. I am Parth Varu, Events and Program Manager for Microsoft Reactor India. And yes, I welcome you all to yet another episode of AI 102. But before we start our today's event, let's go through our code of conduct. We are all here to learn together, participate together. So please be respectful of other people's views, understanding their differences, be kind and considerate in a way we all engage. Yes, we do encourage you all to participate. Please drop all your questions in the comment section and we'll pick it up from there. And yes, let's begin with exciting sessions. Now I would like to bring in our MVP, Vishwanatha Swami. Hi Swami, how are you doing?
Hey Parth, good evening. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good evening, Swami. I'm all good, and it's perfect time during the monsoon for a cup of coffee. Yes, and how's climate over at Hyderabad?
It's a little bit warmer than usual, maybe 3 to 4 degrees. But this does not stop us from coffee or Irani chai with samosa and mirchi bhaji.
Along with AI is our
I
everyday
know,
companion.
I know. Correct, correct. It's Irani chai with samosa or Usmania biscuits. Uh, okay. If I speak about food, I'll continuously speak about food. So
Let's get started. The floor is all yours, Swami.
thank you so much. Could you please flash my screen and put me at the bottom
Yep,
so that I'll get a extra space for viewers.
sure.
Thanks so much. Okay, cool. Guys, thank you so much for joining. Today's session is pretty much on the Azure OpenAI. So as we were doing, Parth, could you please adjust my picture to be? Thank you so much. So today's session is Azure OpenAI. This is my GitHub base or home URL, and this is today's sessions markdown will be here in the speaker series. Mostly wherever I'm speaking, I'll create a demo script on this one, but this is where today's session it is. So as we started our journey going through the official syllabus of AI 102, I'm also preparing for the certification. So together we are all preparing. So we completed this one, getting started, this 5 units, and create computer vision and solutions with Azure AI Vision 5 units. And at two places, there are a couple of Python programs is pending from my side. So I'll get back to you on that one. I made a note, and then we are jumping it on this chapter where we focus more on develop generative AI solutions with Azure OpenAI series. This is a pretty great chapter where we have quite a few s- sections, I'm calling it. We have. So we will be starting with getting started with this, and then we'll jump on to prompt engineering before we go to natural language solutions using OpenAI, because when we want to interact with this OpenAI models, it is very much important for us to have the prompt engineering skills. So without that prompt engineering skills, it will be very tough for us to survive. So I just wanted to give you copilot.microsoft, just like why we are doing this way, like why are we uh, getting the introduction of Azure OpenAI, and then why are we jumping onto this prompt engineering before proceeding any further. So we'll see that in a minute. I'll log in. I don't know what is happening. We'll come back to that one. Okay, we have a lot of things to cover. So I'm still a learner. Apologize if I do any mistake. And there are a lot of things I have brought for our discussion. Few things we'll do a little bit deeper dive, or few things we'll touch upon and again we'll revisit. We'll be having 5 to 7 sessions exclusively on Azure OpenAI generative this section. So let's take time. We will learn it, but it's not. We will rush it. We'll touch upon and we'll run. So fasten your seatbelt. A lot of things to discuss. And here is the playlist. Please, I have given the playlist. You guys can go and click on this playlist. You'll see all the previous 10 sessions, and 11th one will get added in a day or two. So that's about the introduction. Now let's get deep into the weeds. Like provisioning the AI resources we were seeing, I just put it here, and the usage of the secrets JSON or using the Azure Key Vault, and how do we retrieve this. We spoke multiple times, so we'll not spend any time on that one. Instead, we'll focus on intelligence. Let's come and discuss about what is intelligence at the first place. So intelligence is something which we build over the time. Like, I'm riding bicycle over the muddy road and I will fall down once, and next week I'm going on the same muddy road and again I fall down. So there are two instances which is giving me a data points. Like, what is the mistake? I have to analyze what is the mistake am I doing. Am I applying the left side brake or the right side brake, or am I going little fast, or did I tilt the cycle? Why I am falling at the same place every time when I'm going through? Like, these kind of things which we developed as a human based on the previous experiences, based on visual. Suppose if I'm not riding the bicycle, someone else is riding, every time he is crossing that muddy road, is falling down. So now I don't need to go myself and fall down to know that, oh, if I ride the bicycle like this in 15 degrees tilted on the left side or right side, I will fall down. I don't need to do on my own. I can observe this with my visual eyes. I can observe this. Now I can collect the data point. Okay, every time this kid is coming on this muddy road, he tilted the bicycle on the left side and is falling down. So this is how we develop intelligence based on the previous facts or previous observation and our own data points. We know that, oh, okay, when I'm going on a muddy road, I should, what all the things which I can take care of so that I don't fall. Okay, few terms for before jumping into this one. And some of the terms, I generally use this Google. It is doing a very good job of giving me these images. Like, if you see that, where does this generative AI falls? Okay, so this one is also very important on this one, but let's keep it very simple. We'll use these four images. Where does this fit in? So, like, if you see this image here, we'll spend 1 minute time. Like, this is like a foundational block. Like, artificial intelligence is the first block, and then we have the machine learning is another block. We have the deep learning, and this uses neural networks. We'll come back, and then it is generative AI, which is the subset of deep learning networks. Just visualize this picture. We'll go back and we'll discuss one or two statements on this one, but visualize this picture. At the top level, you have the artificial intelligence, and then comes the machine learning, and then comes the deep learning, then comes the generative AI. And again, if you come back to this, different people are representing in a different way. Like, natural language processing, they moved it outside, but net, if you see, what is very common between top three guys who are very common is AI, ML, DL. You can see that AI, ML, DL. Some people are representing generative AI within the DL. Some people are taking it a little bit a combination of DL and natural language processing, and doing an intersection between those two. But uh, to keep it very simple, we'll see that artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and generative AI. Okay, just visualize this image and we'll go to the step two. Now, coming back to this one, where am I? Oh, okay. See, this artificial intelligence, like how we are able to we are able to gather the intelligence. Similarly, artificial intelligence is referring to a science which is focused more on the computers, which is speaking with a human and generating the output as if with a human intelligence. So you can see that it encompasses the techniques, approaches, whatever is the theoretical. I mean, the credit goes to ChatGPT. It's not my intelligence. I did a straight lift from ChatGPT and posted it here. Few things I added from my side. So strong or general AI. So that means what is happening is general AI means that which has got a capability to perform multiple type of tasks. So narrow or weak is designed to do a very specific. Like if you see like a robot which has been created just to serve, a robot which has been created to drive a vehicle. So these two robots are being created to do some specific tasks. So that is a narrow AI. So it does only one task. I'm just giving an hypothetical example. Okay. So strong is which does everything. Like if you see that text to speech, which does only one thing. And if you see something else which does multiple things, it's doing the chart completion, it's doing the text summarization, sentimental analysis, generating code. This is like a general AI. Now if you see the machine learning, which is the part of the I mean, within that, in the circle, you see the second circle is this machine learning. It's a subset of AI. Now what is that it is doing? So what happens between write a program, uh, let's see the difference between what is general program does and what is the machine learning. Like I'm writing a program to find out whether a given string is a palindrome or not. So what is happening is we accept the input, will process it through the algorithm, and will give the output whether it is true or false. So that's the way we do programming. Now if you see the machine learning, what happens is it uh, we collect the data, and massaging and all those things will be done, data preparation, and then selection of the model, like what kind of algorithm we need to choose it, and then we'll train the model. Now from the universal set, what we do is generally if you have 10 records, so what we generally do is 70 to 80%, mostly 80% of the original data, the previous data, actual facts, we feed in to train the data. And 20% of the data where we already know the results, and that we will feed in to evaluate the model. So if at all, when we give this 20% to this model, and if it is not performing, then we'll fine tune that, and then we'll test it. And once we are satisfied, then we put it to the inference clusters or deploy somewhere where we'll start using it so that it can predict. So deep learning is, again, we see this deep neural networks, then it has got a lot of these things, NLP, speech recognition, and different things are there. But and NLP is mostly like a chatbot, sentiment analysis, machine translation, French to English, English to French, and a lot of those language generation is coming as part of this one. Now, when you see the difference between the machine learning and the generative AI, so all these steps are same except the prediction. Generating a new content is the generative AI. Now, again, if you see this inside this generative AI, we got generative adversarial networks and variational autoencoders. I just put those points, which is very much important. Like, what does it generate? It can generate a new or original content, or we can fine tune it like text, image, music. And based on the content on which it was trained, okay, the output or the quality of the output of this generative AI depends upon that, and also the skill set what the user has from the prompt engineering perspective. Like you have a model which was trained perfectly, and if you don't give a proper prompts to it to retrieve the output, then we always get undesirable results. Whatever we are looking out, we might not get that. Okay. So now if you see that Eliza, which is from early 60s, to if you see that developed by Mr. Joseph, he's a very intelligent person who has submitted it. I mean, mid 60s. That means you would have started around early 60s to generate it. And you can, I've given a link of this Wikipedia link here. You can go through this one. I was able to get hold of this in Golang. I don't know which course I was learning from, but I got a chance to get a copy of this, not in original copy of Sir Joseph's, but it is in Golang. So I was able to play, but it was pretty realistic, as if I'm talking to a human. I really liked it. Okay, that's one point. Now come back to Azure OpenAI transformers and GPT. Now we know that all these OpenAI models, these all were created by OpenAI company. And initially it started as a open source, and then to sustain and to give more features, it was converted into a organization, and Microsoft has got a major contribution in the investment perspective, and also the only partner to OpenAI, where it is a single cloud-based service which is offering the OpenAI. Okay, now transformer. If you see the transformer is the algorithm which is doing this one. Okay, it's just like a model or a algorithm. And if you see that transformer in the context is deep learning model architecture. It's an architecture of the model which is made to learn on those topics. Now, if you see that GPT is generative pre-train. So generative is that is generating some output. Pre-train, which was trained on tons and tons of data, maybe freely available, and all those things, it is getting trained. And transformer is underlying architecture or model. Technically, it is transformer is a model or an algorithm. Okay, like if you see the machine learning, we have tons of data. We massage the data, we feed in the data, we will train the model. A model is something which has been created as an output. When we saw that, we give a string to a program and ask that, tell me whether this string is palindrome or not. What is output, true or false? Now that algorithm. Similarly, this model or architecture, whatever the output of those uh, machine learning is, this models. Now, if you see the 30,000 foot view of Azure OpenAI, now we'll see this from the 30,000 foot view of what is this Azure OpenAI services. I just click on this and we can stay in for here. We'll switch left, right, and center based on our requirement. But this is the day one where we are tipping the toes in the waters. Okay. So you see that that's the Azure OpenAI is service which provides how do we access these models, and different models are coming in, and nowadays it is coming in rapid pace. And previously there was only handful of models. Now I don't know, we need to have a counting machine to get the models. We'll see that taste of it in a minute. Another thing, we see this before we touch any model or deploy any model, we need to know that what do we need to do, why do we choose the model. We need to know that before using it. Okay, the next point is like service quota and limits. So if you come in here, so we have to see this one, OpenAI resources per region, and what is the DALI 2 quota, DALI 3 quota. All these things are there. And again, we need to do a deep dive. That itself is not enough. And also we need to know that uh, in which region some of the models might be available in one region and it's not available in another region. This is very, very important for us to understand that what is available in which particular region, and we need to go deep into the weeds to find out some of the things which we will find out in the while the deploying. But it is good thing to know what is the quota. Now Azure OpenAI service models, so let's see the models over here. Now you can see it gives the list of models, and we can go ahead and know that what is a model, and till what level it was trained, and all those things it will give it here. Like you can see this GPT version is there. And let's go a little bit deep into the weeds. We know that training data up to October 2023. Now you ask a query to this particular model on an incident which happened in January. Most probably it might not until unless we give a do a function call or give a grounding data, you might not get the proper results. But that's a different ball game. We don't need to discuss about that and get ourselves confused. But here, if you see that, we need to understand what model is, and its capability also, and the max request tokens. And we'll come back what token is in a minute, but the training data is very important. Now see, these models, they clearly said that what is that it is able to do text and image processing, JSON, parallel function calling. Now the function calling is being called as tools, different terminology, but maybe it's pointing to the same one. But we need to understand what each thing does. Now if you see from the text models perspective, no, I don't see those text models like DaVinci. I don't know. DaVinci 2 is gone. That's my favorite. I'm missing that particular model a lot. Now you can see this model is available only in this particular region, North Central US. But from the capability perspective, you need to understand that what is that which the text DaVinci is providing, and who is providing its alternative. So we need to know about that one. Okay. So we saw about the service quotas and OpenAI service model. So we saw at a high level, 30,000 foot level, what those things are. Now, how do you access the Azure OpenAI service? Now, let's come back to the portal. Uh, is it not going to allow me to sign in? Just give me a minute. Why is not this one is not allowing to sign me in? Just a moment. I don't know. Let me see that. Come on, just please allow me to sign in. Okay, it's not allowing me to sign in. We'll see that. Let's not waste time on that pace. Now, if you come back to the resource group which we will be using, we'll see that I have a couple of multi-service accounts and one Azure OpenAI service over here. So we'll come and we'll look at it. And before that, we need to get the access, fill up the form, and some of the features also, if it is not available, we need to raise a request. We'll look at it a little later, but first thing is we'll go and we'll see. I'll execute this command because right now, if you see that I have this one Azure OpenAI thing is there, service. So I am clearing the screen and I executed it. Now, if I come back, AOAI name. Now, if you see that right now, it is this, and the get rand is it adds a random number. Now, if I go, every time I execute it, it gives a random number, suffix it, so it ensures that I'm creating a new resource. Okay. So I already have the resource group ID. I populated the resource group ID, and also I populated my Azure MVP sponsorship subscription. So you see that the subscription ID is also there. So now what I will do is I will just go ahead and create the service. So this is one of the way to create the service. It's not that the only way to create, but this is one of the way to create. Now we'll come back to this official syllabus. We'll do a switch between these two. Now the same things, whatever we discussed, it's given here. The models, the generative models, and like it has got different capabilities: vision, speech, language, decision, and search, and more. And if you see that access perspective, I told that we'll come back and we'll see. While it is running, it executed this, and it has created the resource. Okay, we'll come back and look at it, what that resource is before we going any further. So it should be this name, whatever the name it is, 7509. So let me come back to this resource group and I refresh it. It is 7509. So it has created. Okay, now let's come back to this one. Access to the OpenAI service, you need to fill this form, and any other additional things which you needed, we have to do it. That how do we create after that is you can use the Azure portal to come back here, and Azure OpenAI, and just enter it. Now you see this symbol, and from here you can go ahead and create create a new resource. It's pretty simple. You can go ahead and select the standard and give a name. What is this name? The previous name is definitely shouldn't be there, so I can create with the previous name. I'm giving it here. So we will be selecting which subscription and which resource group, the same commands which we have given in the command line. And the tier is this one. Right now, we do have only S0, the standard tier. And it just creates it. Next, we can come in and I want to give a free hand and just the tags, and it does a validation, and it gives us a final chance to review before we change our mind and run away from the screen. Okay, so we can go ahead and create it. So we saw this particular unit where we learned that we need to fill a form to get access, and how do we create the Azure OpenAI service in Azure. We can use the Azure portal to create it, or we can use the OpenAI service Azure CLI. So that's what we did it both ways. We tried one using the Azure command line AZ and one through Azure portal. So we can come back and look at our resource group, and we can see both those two numbers. One is 5891. If I come back to the top, it is, yeah, this one, 5891, and 7509. That is a 7509. So we used these two methods to create the resource. So, and also this model availability guide, this is very much useful. We need to keep this handy because we don't want to create something and get stuck and run from pillar to post to make the things working. Oh, this we already have seen that. So which model is available in which area? The tabular form, we have seen it here. So need to keep this handy to check that where the availability is there. And the next thing is use of Azure AI Studio. And before that, I need to drink a glass of water. Just a minute. Now, I think recently the Azure AI Studio was facelifted, and you can see this. You can go from there, or what we can do is we can come first. Let me close this. You can come to your resource group, and here I did a lot of experiments, so I'll stick to this one. So you can click on that. It you will come to this overview page. Within the overview page, you can see that you can see here develop. You can get the keys and endpoints, or you can look at the monitoring. So I just started some things couple of hours ago. So you'll see that what all the things I started. I can see this over here, and again you can come back to the getting started where you'll be able to see this build better. Just click on explore Azure AI Studio. So this will navigate to the Azure AI Studio. The latest Azure AI Studio, its look and feel is pretty good, and also the functionality behind the scenes are also pretty great. I can't resist myself. It is a good thing. I mean, I have to praise it to all the people who were involved in making this much better. Uh, so you can see this is the UI, and next thing is first thing, once we come back to that user interface, next thing is we need to come back to two different places. First thing is, before we going anywhere, after landing at Azure AI Studio, I think that we have to come back to the model catalog. So as I was mentioning, this is becoming scary. Now there were only few handful of models when a couple of years ago. Now you see that there's large number of models. I don't know to give some number and create trouble for myself, but you see that every model, you see that Hugging Face, Meta, and different companies are giving us, you can see that from the collection perspective, you have the Azure OpenAI. You can see that only these models it is showing. Now if you want only the models from Microsoft, you see this Microsoft. Now you want only from Meta, you see the models from Meta, like the different snowflakes, Hugging Face. I know a lot of people there. Everybody is giving their models. You can go and look at it. This one, and filters. Here you can see the collection, and I'll minimize this one. Okay, and then you can see that deployment options. This we will leave it, we'll not discuss now and confuse ourselves, but just come and let look at the model which you want to use it. Now if you see that, you click on this, any of the model. Now this gives a pretty good information. So why overview, you can see that this can do a chart completion and also fine tuning. Now I'll come back to the model over here, and I can go to this completions. You can see the difference is that this is completions, this is chart completion. Both are different. We'll look at the studio in a minute. But if you see DaVinci 2, as I was mentioning, DaVinci 3 is my favorite model, which I used to use it, but I'm missing that. Now you can see this task is completions task. That's the difference. So we'll see that. Now again, let's go back to this one. This gives every piece of information which we need to know that. And another thing is, if you go deep into the weeds to find out what this does, the capability perspective also, you can see that the flavor, I mean GPT 3.5 turbo flavors, you see that turbo 16 and turbo instruct. Now if you see instruct, it also supports pretty much text kind of things. It we can use that for completions. So you can use that for completions as well as for the chart completions. We'll see the difference in a minute. Okay, so that also we have completed that unit. Now let's go to the generative AI models perspective. You see that you have text to speech, you have embeddings, and you have chat GPT, you have text models. The different models are there. Again, you can come back to the model catalog, and where you can type that I just want to use only text perspective, what models are available. So you can see that text embeddings are there, text generations are there. So we can go ahead and see what all the things which you can use it, like DALI text to image, or you want only text to speech or speech to text, or you can search what kind of models you want. Okay, and here also, as we have seen that earlier. Now I'll come back to deploy generative AI models. Now let's come back to this one. One thing we need to understand, pretty much is when we want to deploy. So we saw only from the getting started, we saw the model catalog. We didn't go into anywhere. So we went there, and again we didn't visit the playgrounds. We'll come back and visit that, but let's go and see the deployments. Before going to the deployments, the model quota is very important, and the content filter I didn't explore, so I will not touch it. We'll come back in future, but at least from the quota perspective, if you see, there are few options are there here. I just explored this piece over here. We can get deep into the weeds to find out, like I deployed one, and within that you can see the this one, 120k tokens per minute. So these all things are there. We can understand that. So just look at the model quotas, and we can come back to the deployments. Now these are few of the deployments I did it, and this is very good information for us to know about it. Is that when this model is getting retired? So these first two models is getting in a couple of months or so, but the other one is at least a decent 6 to 8 months. I have time to explore on that one. So now I think models are also coming in very frequently. So we need to ensure that what is the model, and we should understand one thing is the model name versus name. So the name is the deployment name. Like I can give Apple, Ant, or something else. And here the model name is very important. Okay. And some of the parameters where you need to specify the deployment name. So that is the reason I'm using the same name, but I'm calling it as D name, like deployment name. So I know the difference, like GPT-40, GPT-40 D name. Oh, okay, this is a deployment name. This is the model name. I mean this I just created my own conventions. Now you can see this one, base model versus fine tune model. So as of now, let's understand that base model is what are the model which is coming out of the box. We didn't fine tune, as I was mentioning, like once we feed in some of the information, we train, and then we will evaluate the model. If the model is not performing as we were expecting, then we will have to retrain it, or every 6 months or whatever the number of months or days, we have to feed in to create a new model. We have to fine tune it, because now the models which were trained till October 2023, now it is August 2024. It's almost an year. Now we need to come back and retrain it. But let's assume that it's the base one. Now again, let's go and see this one, DaVinci, and it is for completions. Now, if you see that the turbo instruct, so if you see somewhere, it, yeah, see this one, the most capable and cost, here it says that, which has been optimized for chart and works well for traditional completion tasks as well. That means whatever the text DaVinci 3 model which I was talking about, it can be used like that also. But if you see the other models, if you see Turbo 35 or Turbo 35 or Turbo 16K, I didn't see that it works that good, but it generates more data. We'll see that in an action in a minute. Okay. So now let's go ahead and select this and click on confirm, and it will throw an error on us saying that this model is not available. Like the other place when we saw that it was North Central US, that's where we saw that in the previous dialog. Okay. So if you see that, we need to be very careful. Now you can click on the model availability, the same availability which we have seen in the previous screen. We need to understand that, okay, can I deploy this model? Davan, yeah, this one, text jabs. Yeah, this is my favorite one. I'm unable to resist. See this one, the DaVinci 2. like it is available only in this region. So that's North Central US. So the one which we are using is East US. So definitely we will not be able to deploy that, even though it shows that I will be able to deploy. I mean, it's a deployable one. Some of the models in the previous interface, it clearly shows that it's an expired one and non-deployable. I think if we are not wrong, we should be able to see somewhere whether it's able to deploy it or not. Okay, that is from the deployment perspective. Let's see that there's nothing harm in trying to deploy a new model. Text to speech. Okay, cool. Come on. Um, okay, this is the deployment. Which one is available in East US? Let me go and let's search what is a model which is available in East US. East US GPT-4, which I already deployed it. No, I didn't do that. Okay, let's try this one. East US GPT-4 Turbo. Okay, let's select any one of the model. Yeah, GPT-4. So I'll select and click on that. Now it does a validation. We ensured that the GPT-4 model is available in this region, the used US region. We confirmed it with this matrix, and it clearly should. It doesn't have the quota. Okay, I'll stop it here. Uh, we'll switch the Azure OpenAI service because we are getting hit with a lot of problems here. So I'll close this. I'll come back to this one because we created a couple of new ones, isn't it? Let's use 5891 and we'll go into this one. So here nothing has been deployed uh, till now. No models has been deployed. So this gives a clean slate. Let's go and uh, do our experimentation on this one. You see this select deployment. You see that nothing is deployed. So I'll come to the deployments and let's select a couple of these things. We can do a quick deployment. One is the instruct. Okay, confirm that, and it is validating because each model will have their own quotas. We have seen, isn't it? The deployment name is I add dname and model version. We can select it, auto update whenever it is here. And the deployment, there are two things: standard and global standard. And rest of the things are there, and content filter and other things will come back and we'll revisit that in a future session. But you can see like it gives a nice interface, risks and blocked request and a lot of other things are there here. I'm yet to explore. Like these will come as part of our prompt output itself. It says that hate and jailbreak or self harm, whatever it is. You can see that self harm or hate or different categories are there, jailbreak or whatever it is. It's going to come violence, or we'll see that in a future thing. And we can see that metrics is always the usage, and this is giving us a quite a few information here. That's one thing. And other way we can deploy this. One way we have seen using the Azure portal. Other way is using this cognitive services. Let's come back to uh, this one over here. We have seen this models and we did a deep dive. I mean, we didn't. Uh, what happened? What is that? Just give me a minute. Why am I not seeing all those comments which I? Because I pasted few comments over here. There you go. I'm able to see this. But why I could not see that in section 9.2? Okay, I'll close this and again right mouse click and open preview. There you go. Okay, so let's see that where it will go and publish this uh, new model, GPT 4.0 mini. So let me come back over here and I'll do clean, and I'm trying. It is 7509. So it's a good exercise that we are doing all these things. So one thing we took the we selected that 5891, which is not the one which is now. Right now we are doing 7509. We'll do through automatic, through AZCLI. So let me select this and open the studio. So the previous one, what we have selected, inside this we saw different models are there, and we are able to deploy it through the Azure portal. This model, whatever we have created in this particular OpenAI resource, is through the Azure portal. Now, if you see that the models in this one is nothing, that 7509, we didn't deploy anything. So let me execute this command through PowerShell, the AZ command. So I'll execute this one. So the same resource group, and Azure OI name is 7509. And let me come back here and I do a refresh. Now you see that ChatGPT Mini is available. So let's try one or two commands, and so we saw that deployment. REST API, I'm parking it for now, and use prompts to get completion from models. We'll see that. That's a another task which we'll be doing, dedicated two sessions on that. Test models in AI Studio. So again, that's is talking about two things: completion models. I mean, the completion playground as well as the chart playground. Both are not same. Both are little different. So let's try one in each over here. Now, after deploying the models, you can come to these three things. So first thing is I'll come to completion, and here you can see that I'm able to use the turbo 35 instruct. And if I come in here, the DALI 2 system, uh, we can use this one, but I'll stop it because I don't want to bring too many things into the equation. Let's stick to the game plan, these two only. Now here again we need to go and select. Now whatever the instruct which we have created, that is not qualified for chart. Here you can see that it doesn't show up in the deployment, but for completion it shows it over here. So let me come back to the notes which I have it. I have a couple of these things, like I'm saying that happy birthday wishes to my mother. I put this prompt and click on generate. Now let's see that what is this. Here it is generating. It said that happy birthday to most amazing and loving mother in the world. So it's creating this one. Now let's come back to this one, and let's again see this. The model which we have selected. Uh, Now here the GPT-4 whatever we have created, it's not eligible for completions. But if I come to the chart completion, it is allowing me to use that. So we need to be extra careful when we are creating. We need to understand that what models when you deployed, where you can use it. Can you use it for chart completion, or can you use that for only completions, or it can be used in different places. So let's try that. So let me come back to this deployment models and go ahead and deploy chat GPT 4, okay, or 4.0. GPT 4. Okay, let's select this. It's a lot of things are there. Okay, so let's go ahead with this and we'll see. Or we need to do one from the chart completion. Just give me a minute. Mhm. I already deployed it. No quota available to deploy this model and deployment type. Okay, could be because of that. And we'll see. Turbo 16K, we'll try. GPT 3.5, GPT 35. Okay, turbo or turbo 16K. So let me select this. I think I already created those things. That might be the reason it is troubling. We can switch it. Okay, I think that's good thing. Let's switch back to there. That which I already created, because we don't need these things. But we understood the importance of selecting a model and where that particular model can be used. Can that be used in chart, or can that be used in uh, only for completion, or what specific functionality we can use? That is very much important. So let's go with AI service, which I already created and deployed quite a few. But we were able to deploy the OpenAI service with Azure portal or with Azure CLI, as well as we are able to deploy the models using the portal or with the Azure AI service. Okay, let's see that some of the models we do have it. So I've deployed GPT 3.5 Turbo 16K, Turbo Instruct, and GPT 4.0. These are deployment names. Now let me come back to completions. Now inside the completions, you can see that GPT 3.5 Turbo and Turbo Instruct. Now here there is one very important point to understand. So when you use a same prompt to two different models, I'm assuming definitely gives different results, because the way it was trained, the content it was trained, and the prompt engineering skills, all these and other factors will also come into picture. Now we see this. We used previously also we used. I'm saying that please write a birthday wishes to my mother. It did that and it completed this. Now what I'm doing is I'm switching instruct. I told instruct works for completions also. I'm using this turbo, and I'm going in here and I click on generate. Now let's see that how this behaves. Now see this, it created the output and it is trying to create extra output also. See, it wrote the birthday wishes for the mother, and it is also trying to write the birthday wishes for my father, because the quota for the tokens is this much. Let's bump up the quota, and if I paste that, and now if I go ahead and see this, it's giving a lot of other information which I don't need it at all. So it's not that this model is wrong. Maybe it's how it was trained on that much of content, or it could be something else. But never we can think that, oh, the model is wrong. It's giving a wrong information, and you need to know that which tool to use. I mean, this one we have seen that instruct is equivalent to the text DaVinci, where it generates a lot of text content. So you need to know that where to use. Okay, so here we saw that turbo 35 and turbo 35 instruct can be used for completions. It's pure completions. Now if you want to know that uh, what is that we can write, so that I can do my programming. So you can see that we can use the code which is over here and do that. So we'll see, if time permits, we'll see that. If not, we will take it up in the next session. But I have a couple of other things to cover before going there. But we do definitely have 1 or 2 minutes here and there. Now if you come back to the chart, now you see that in chart the instruct, it is not showing here. We deployed 4 models here. We deployed instruct, GPT-4o, and 3.5 turbo, 3.5 turbo 16. Now if we come back to the chart, we see that GPT-4o, 3.5 turbo, 3.5 turbo 16K, but we don't see the instruct over here. So that's a different thing. We will not worry about it. Here it says that this is very specifically used for generating the content. Okay. So one thing we can quickly see is, I mean, we have to do this assignment, the exercise, which we will do it in future, but not in next session or next to next, but uh, not now. So see this chart session. Okay, this is assistant. First, I have to give this one system uh, prompt samples. Where these all things are general. Okay, so first here I'll come back to the over here, and here we will see that system assistant, like system assistant message is that here we are telling two different things, like we are saying that, hey, what you are, we are giving the role, like movie characters. In one movie a guy can act as a villain, and another movie can act as a hero. So similarly, this chart playground, you can tell that system, hey, right now you are an assistant. Now you can also say that, hey, you're a doctor now. So like that, it starts behaving differently. Let's see a couple of these things, and this one is like general, uh, like, see this, what is an apple? I am giving this. Now you can see that we are using this one, chat gpt, this one, it gave this apple. Now if I come back over here, now marketing writing assistant, now you can focus before we select that, we can come back over here. This, it says that you're a generic assistant. Now I'm saying that you're a marketing assistant. Now you see this, the system message, you have to hypnotize this model. I'm using jokes about, I'm using a comedy thing, but you can see that you have to give a system message saying that, hey, right now you're this one. Now we can go ahead and use some prompt. I am opening 100 dosa center. Please give give me five Twitter tweets. Okay. Now we have voice also. I didn't try the voice, but I tried this and this. Now see this. Now it's doing a wonderful job of that. See, calling foodies. 100 dosa center is now opening. It's doing a better job there. And another thing, we can go ahead and test these things. This one, you can see that, write a social media post about my dosa center. We can give this one also. See this. This will be very fun. Now see the hashtags it creates. Uh, Hashtag it creates here. Let's see this one. Uh, I'm using 3.5 turbo because right now I'm asking one. So see this, it says that come check it out, and you should see somewhere the hashtags. Oh, the finish reason is length, so I have to give more tokens. So I'm giving 450 tokens instead of 250. So let's see. I love this intelligence. So it goes and it creates the nice marketing stunt, and also it creates the, oh, again, it's not enough for that. Okay, I should have done a little lesser one, but you can see that it is having a proper 3.5. That's the one we are using. Oh no, we're using a different one. So it creates a nice beautiful things whatever we wanted, but even for us to do it, it takes a lot of time, but this creates much faster and we can reuse it. One simple thing we will see is the same sample code which we have seen. We can use the C sharp coding or Python or anything, even with the Postman tool, we'll be able to do that. But here, like who founded Microsoft? Two things, two small things is it here. If you see that for a fraction of second, the thing waits over here, and this is coming like a streaming, like as and when the content it is receiving, you observe it very carefully. Here it stops for a second. Here you see this as and when it is getting the content, it goes and writes it onto the screen. That's the streaming. Okay, so that's it from my side for this session, and thanks for joining. Hope you have learned something. Let's meet in the next session. Parth, back to you. Parth.
Thank you, Swami. Thank you so much for an exciting session. And yes, I think we have one question, Swami, asking
Oh
like
yeah, please. Yeah.
why we need why we need Azure OpenAI service. Instead, we can call
Yeah.
OpenAI APIs directly.
Oh, okay. Uh, okay. See this, you can call the Azure OpenAI service, but somewhere you should have that services hosted, isn't it? So if you see you are deploying a web API, where do you deploy? You deploy to Azure App Service. So PaaS. So you already deployed it. Now you are able to go and hit the API. Similarly, you need the Azure AI service, that is the only cloud provider as of today who is providing the OpenAI models. So you need that, create an Azure AI service. You need to create different things. You have to create the different services which we are creating, isn't it? We have created the multi-service account, or you're creating the Azure OpenAI, or you create a speech, or you create vision service, or the custom vision service. Different services you created. So that means you're hosting it somewhere in your Azure. So once that is hosted, you have to call the API. Now the second piece of this answer is like how does the billing happens. Now you have to host it. What mode you have to host it, whether it is a free service or whether it is you're taking the standard mode, how the billing has to happen, how many calls you are doing it. Everything has to be restricted, isn't it? Based on the type of service you host it, the charge will be like that.
I hope that answers. And yes, thank you all once again, and thank you, Swami, for your time. Yes. Thank you everyone.
Good night, folks.